as in Francis Mayer. This as in Equity TV. Welcome back, folks. On this episode of Equity TV, we're dealing with issues that affect veterans. And really, let's drop the issues and let's say we're giving them tools to succeed at Bakersfield College. Now, if you've missed our earlier segments, I encourage you to go to YouTube and search for Bakersfield College Equity TV. We've done spots with former NFL star Jeremy Stott and assistant football coach Reggie Bolton, President Sonia Christian, Chancellor Sandra Serrano, all the bigwigs and heavy hitters at Bakersfield College, the people who make things work and the people focused on student success for you so you can improve your life, get a better job, make more money, get that girl or that guy, whatever it is your dream is. There's a good chance that it can start at Bakersfield College. Right now, we're talking to one of those people who helps dreams come true. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
And what's your name?
My name is Michelle Peña.
And Miss Peña, what do you do at Bakersfield College? What's your job title?
My job title is the Assistant Director of Admissions and Records.
Okay, so you help people get into college.
Yes.
And that's something you know a little bit about because you haven't always been a fancy educator, have you?
I have not.
And what did you talk about your life right out of high school? Because I think a lot of our veterans and a lot of our students, they assume when they bump into someone working at the college that they just got out of Harvard, after being a valedictorian in high school. But that's not the story with all of us at BC, is it?
No, it's not.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into college.
Well, I actually dropped out of high school 2 years before graduation, worked for a while, and then went back and did independent studies to graduate from high school. So
Wow.
I did 4 years of high school and 2, and then decided that I was going to work for a while. I did try to go to Bakersfield College for a while. It didn't work, working and going to school at the same time.
And that's something we have to reinforce, too. If it hasn't worked for you before, that doesn't mean it's not going to work the second time around. And you're living proof of that.
Right.
Sorry, go on.
No, that's okay.
I love your story.
So I worked for several years and then decided, you know what, I want to go back to school. I want to do something. And so I decided to go back to college.
And where was that at?
When I went to college?
Yes.
I went to University of Phoenix.
Nice.
And then did some classes at Bakersfield College and at Taft College at the same time.
Wonderful. And sometimes it does take, the old trident approach. You need to make use of a couple different tools because you also had a child in there.
Yes, I had a 5-year-old at the same time.
Wow.
And a husband.
Right.
And I was working 45 plus hours a week. So
juggling, Christine. That's
hard.
something that you and I can relate to, actually. And a lot of our folks who are out watching this right now, you can have other opportunities and still succeed in education. You just need the right guidance, the right help, and the right support system, which we have that to offer at Bakersfield College.
Correct.
So there you are, going to 3 different institutions to put your education together. You're a mom, you have a marriage, and you're working.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so then later on in life, didn't you decide to get more education?
I did. I was working, and the place that I was working at, I had contact with some gentlemen from CSUB.
Oh, wait, you were working in like hospitality, right? Weren't you planning banquets and things?
I was. Yes, when I was going for my bachelor's degree, yes, I was. I was managing a couple of hotels in town, and then I ended up going to work for Jim Ford.
Okay, but none of this has anything to do with education.
No, it doesn't. But I was in the service industry where I was working at. They would come in and rent cars from me, from CSUB, and they told me how important it was about education. So they talked me into going and getting my master's degree.
Wow. And just to drive home a point, you worked in the service industry.
Yes.
You were helping people.
Yes, for a very long time.
Right, and I've worked in the service industry too. I've waited a lot of tables, and I've worked with people who are really bright. And I ask them, like, why aren't you going to college? And they're like, man, I'm 30, and all I've ever done is wait tables and bus tables. But you learn a lot of valuable skills doing that. You learn how to treat people. And it's never too late to turn it around, as you proved.
No, I didn't get my master's degree until 2005. I was like 35 years old when I went back to go get my master's.
Wow.
So
And you've had another child, correct? Don't you have a?
I have a stepson.
Right. Okay. And you remarried. And what's funny about that is you, and I've told you this before, I don't know if we could have made a better person for your job in a laboratory because your husband, now tell me about him.
He's a veteran.
And what was his job in the military?
He was 11 Bravo infantry.
A soldier.
Soldier.
The guy was a soldier. And how long was he in the service?
Almost 20 years, 3 months.
Wow.
He just needed 3 more months to have his 20 years.
Wow. So you know about the military life.
Yes.
You know what it's like dealing with someone who's wired for that very unique and ancient trait of being a soldier.
Yes.
And they are different, aren't they?
They are definitely different, yes.
But in your department, over in admissions, I've got to imagine that your employees, and that's who our vets are going to be dealing with when they deal with your
Correct.
office in admissions, they know how you feel about veterans.
Oh, yes.
And our veterans can fully expect when they come into your office that they are going to be celebrated, respected, and given the treatment that they do deserve.
Absolutely.
And you also have a unique perspective on the enrollment process and the going to college process because you're, if I'm not mistaken, isn't your stepson right? It's right about that time for him, right?
My son.
Okay.
Yeah, my son is 18. He'll be graduating in May from high school.
Wow. So you've been jumping through all these hoops and dealing with all these feelings about enrolling in college.
Absolutely.
And where is he going to go to school?
He'll be going to Bakersfield College.
Nice. Yep, Mom wants to save some money. Mom is taking a smart choice there. And have you helped him with the enrollment process?
I have, yes.
And how has that gone?
Well, it's easy because I do it all the time. So I help other students. So why wouldn't I help my own? So
Absolutely. No, that was a fun thing you got to do. What, in your opinion, if there's a veteran out there watching right now who is starting to warm up a little bit to the idea of coming to our beautiful campus located in East Bakersfield, overlooking the Panorama Bluffs, what would you tell them to do? First step, from the couch to...
They would first need to start doing an application.
Okay.
And then they need to, once they get their application, they need to fully matriculate. So they need to do their application. They need to do...
And what is matriculate?
Matriculate means there's 4 components of matriculation, which is orientation, assessment, it is the student educational plan, and then meeting with a counselor.
Okay, so basically that's getting into BC. That's what matriculation means.
Right.
Okay, and people will be directed to you by Tina Mendoza, right? That's the magic name that keeps coming up when I look into veteran stuff.
They can be directed by Tina, or they can just come in and do their application on their own without coming through Tina.
Okay, and pretty much everybody has the internet now through
Yes.
their cell phone, or you could go to the public library and use a computer, and there are a lot of resources available at bakersfieldcollege.edu, correct?
Yes.
All right, very good. So there is further proof of all the cool stuff that's happening on campus. You can be a part of it as a member of the community, or you can come and meet my friend here, and you can enroll. You can matriculate at Bakersfield College and become a student and start changing your life today, regardless of whether you have young children, regardless of your age, regardless of what you're doing for a living now. Anything can happen.
Right.
And you're proof of it.
Yes.
And our veterans have a soft place to land with you. You've been married to a veteran for 20 years. You got a young son who's, well, I guess he's a young man now. He's going to be going to BC. So that's about the best endorsement I think you could give for what you do and for what we do at BC.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being on the show
Thank
today.
you.
Coming up next on Equity TV, more information for veterans on how they can take full advantage of our Harvard on the Hill, Bakersfield College. That's coming up next on Equity TV.